see an Xbox about to cook. Yo, why is it lagging like that? I'm watching 1080p. Developer Direct, let's get it. Ooh, Ninja Gaiden was true. Or at least that's what I think.
こんにちは、超えてくもゲームズチーム忍者の安田文彦です。今日は皆様にチーム忍者が長く大切にしてきたアクションシリーズの新情報を発表できる機会をいただけてとても嬉しく思います。早速ですが、こちらをご覧ください。
Several years ago, the Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a sole ninja. However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an endless downpour of cursed rain. The abandoned Tokyo continues its struggle against chaos to this day.
Infiltrated the facility. Commencing mission.
Oh no, this might be a new IP. Unless it's like that in the future.
No escape.
Nah, he's going crazy though. Combat looks sick.
You're open. Weak. This is it.
Nah, this game look crazy.
Ryu Hayabusa.
I think they said Game Pass.
Whatever your clan is,
Oh yeah,
it ends here.
Will we get like a little remake with it? Or a remaster or something?
Raven.
Back off, Hayabusa. I will execute my mission.
he
世
actually
界
put this
中
on
の町人の皆
1440p.
さん、10年以上大変お待たせしました。
Maybe we won't skip now.
最強の忍者となり容赦なく襲い来る敵に挑むハイスピードアクション忍者ガイデンのナンバリング最新作として忍者ガイデン4を発表させていただきました。本作はプラチナゲームズさんとの協業で開発を進めています。プラチナゲームズさんのアクションゲームというジャンルにおける実績は言うまでもなく、ベヨネッタやニアオートマタなど素晴らしいアクションタイトルを生み出してこられました。忍者ガイデン4というタイトルを10年以上の時を超えて新たに皆様にお届けするにあたり、より多くの方に新鮮な気持ちでプレイしていただけるよう、新たな世界を新主人公であるもう一人の町人ヤクモで冒険するという形で制作することにしました。
This might be an instinct
先ほ
hop.
どご覧いただいた映像の中で竜はやぶさも登場しておりましたが、彼は今回も物語に密接に関わってきます。なぜヤクモと戦うことになったのか、竜はやぶさが戦う目的は何なのか、本作の物語の中で展開していきます。
任務は必ず成し遂げる。邪魔をするな。
Yeah, this
物
might
語
be an instinct hop.
は
I'm not
黒
gonna
竜が
lie.
もたらした正気の雨によって荒廃した首都東京が舞台となっています。
Yuji.
この雨は黒竜がまだ生きている証であり、雨が止まない限り東京に安寧は訪れません。今作の新主人公であり、はやぶさと対をなすカラス一門に所属するヤクモが首都東京で黒竜を倒し、この世界を晴らすため戦いに身を投じます。
これまで忍者ガイデンシリーズで描かれてきたダークでハードな世界観は継承し、そこにさらに危機を感じさせる要素として呪いやより混沌とした景観のデザインを取り入れています。ステージプレイ中に街が呪いの影響を受け、ビルは崩れ、道は歪み、役の
I wanna know
ピ
why
ンチ
they-
に陥れることでしょう。
They put the older
舞
gameplay
台
in
となる
there. I
東
wonder
京
if it comes to
はとあ
like
る出来
a
事によって街全体が崩壊し、
a
家族や
remaster or something like
ヤクモ
that.
と敵対する勢力がひしめき合う状態になっており、
I
環
feel like
境
they
全
put
体
those
が
out
プレイ
already.
ヤーに牙を向くように感じられるはずです。
Hey, this memberman go crazy though. He was just chopping off legs
前
and
作より
everything. He was
立
like,
体的
dang.
に自由度を増した危険に満ちたステージを忍具やシリーズおなじみの体術など忍者アクションを駆使して乗り越えていくことになります。レールアクション、スイングアクションなどのダイナミックで爽快なシチュエーションを多く追加しました。これら以外にも様々なシチュエーションやチャレンジ、隠されたアイテムなどを用意しており、ステージが進むごとに上がっていくテンションにも驚いていただけると思います。
Yo, what's up with Apple? I'm seeing if Xbox about to cook
新しい主
in the
人公の
direct.
ヤクモは竜はやぶさに次ぐ新たな町人です。彼にはまだ
And this ninja guy
若さ
didn't
も
go
残って
crazy.
い
I'm
ま
not
す
gonna
が
lie to you.
カラス一門を背負う天才忍者でもあり、忍者ガイデンシリーズにおける忍者の頂点竜と肩を並べる次世代の町人たり得る人物としてデザインしています。そんなヤクモの前に立ちふさがるのは荒れ果てた東京の治安維持組織であり、黒竜の封印を守る竜神島や現世に蔓
Bro, I
延
know
す
the
る
boss fight's
離
about
が
to
る
go
者ロ
crazy.
ーマ、
No, this is on
そしても
Xbox.
ちろんシリーズおなじみの魔人も登場します。また現時点では公開していませんが、新たなキャラクターやシリ
Nintendo,
ーズファンの
they
方
dropping
に
theirs
喜んで
next
いただ
month.
ける人物も登場しますので、続報にご期待ください。
従来のシリーズからバトルスピードをさらに加速させ、目にも止まらぬスピードで敵との攻防を繰り広げることができます。さらにヤクモが使える新要素、結節忍術ヌエの型を駆使したダイナミックな攻撃によって、これまでから大きく進化した1対他の戦闘を可能にしました。
Bro,
ヌ
the
エの型
combat
では
looks so
これ
crazy.
までの忍者ガイデンにはない広範囲かつ一撃必殺の攻撃となっており、多勢に無勢の状態が長く続く戦況を一気に覆すことができます。もちろん1対1の戦闘における比率も健在です。
Yes,
プレイヤ
sir.
ー
That's
同
what I
様
want to see the
敵も
boss
ガー
battle.
ドや回避をしてくるため、緊張感のあるフェアな戦闘を味わうことができます。敵の動きをしっかりと捉えながら一瞬の隙を逃さずに攻撃を仕掛けていくことが重要です。ヌエの型によって忍者ガイデンのアクションの味わいに さらなる進化を感じられるかと思います。
特にアクションに関しては手触り、バランス調整など細部にわたり日々議論させていただき、会社の垣根を越えた密なやり取りをさせていただいています。本作の主人公であるヤクモは竜とは一味違うアクションを有していますが、その中でもしっかりと忍者ガイデンらしさを感じていただけると思います。例えばカラス、ヌエ、2つの型があるという点がヤクモの大きな特徴ですが、それらが持つ多彩な性能のアクションを用いて敵や状況ごとに使い分ける攻略の深みや滅却、絶技などを絡めた
That's just
抑
like
揚ある
Ghost
スピー
of
ディーな
Tsushima.
攻防などはもちろんヤクモでも健在です。
ヤクモと竜ハヤブサはそれぞれがかなり異なる個性的な遊び心地になっていますので、さまざまな戦闘バリエーションを楽しむことができるようになっています。
I'm not gonna lie. After playing
ヤク
Bayonetta,
モ、そして竜ハヤブサの双方で飛燕、
the fast
水の落とし
combat,
などシリーズおなじみのアクションも駆使しつつ新アクションを織り交ぜた新しい忍者ガイデンにご期待ください。忍者ガイデンシリーズに色濃く残っている歯ごたえやグレードの高いアクション体験の継承、さらに我々プラチナゲームズの特徴であるスピーディーなアクションやダイナミックな演出も取り入れ、進化した正当続編を作り上げるべく総力を挙げて開発を進めております。
容赦ない敵とのいかなる攻防にもフェアに戦える手触りをヤクモでも目指しています。皆様に進化した忍者ガイデンを触っていただける日を楽しみにしています。
シリーズファンはもちろんのこと、忍者ガイデンを初めてプレイする方でも存分に楽しめる作品になっておりますので、ぜひ発売をお待ちください。
長年にわたってプラチナゲームズさんと共にまさに忍者のように潜んで忍者ガイデン4の開発を進めてきましたが、ついに発表することができて非常に嬉しく思います。2025年秋に本作を皆様にお届けできるのを楽しみにしています。続報にもぜひご期待ください。
I'm not gonna lie. That will be an instant cough. I'm not gonna lie.
さて本日お伝えしたい発表はそれだけではありません。こちらをご覧ください。
I wonder if this is like the remake. Yeah. That's what I was guessing.
My path leads through the land of the dead.
Bro, these games were so crazy on the Xbox.
And thus the sun sets on the Dragon Ninja bloodline.
Genshin, go back to hell.
All paths before me are cruel and arduous. Our time has come.
Ooh, we back with it.
忍者ガイデン
And I
2
just
のオリジナル
played
版
the
は
original too.
2008年に Xbox360 で発売し、バイオレンスな表現とハイスピードなバトルを皆様にお楽しみいただいた作品です。今作忍者ガイデン2ブラックではオリジナル版の表現に立ち戻り、アンリアルエンジン5を用いてグラフィックを大幅に刷新、忍者ガイデン2の完全版として開発いたしました。綺麗なグラフィックでお楽しみいただけるのはもちろん、竜ハヤブサに加え綾音、もみじ、レイチェルもプレイブルキャラクターとして登場します。そして本作は本日コンソール、 PC、 そして Xbox ゲームパスでこの後すぐに発売となります。忍者ガイデンシリーズを長年応援いただいている皆様はもちろんのこと、
Shadow drop
本
on
日
us.
忍者ガイデンを知っていただいた皆様も忍者ガイデン4の発売前にぜひ本作をお楽しみください。今年はチーム忍者創立30周年の節目であり、本日発表させていただいた忍者ガイデン4を含め2025年は忍者の年、イヤーオブザ忍者となります。ぜひ忍者ガイデンシリーズの展開にご注目ください。本日はありがとうございました。
sir. We're going to next. This game look kind of cool too. I'm not going.
Hi, and welcome to Compulsion Games here in Montreal, Canada. At our studio, we care about world building, and we treat the setting almost like a character of its own. From the magical noir of contrast to the alternate history we have
I didn't know they
confused,
made contrast.
we draw inspiration from the landscape to shape mood, drama, and intrigue. For South of Midnight, our third-person action-adventure game, the story and characters bring a folkloric Deep South to life. This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the forefront of our story, it's the macabre elements and larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey and growth.
Whew. It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the
Flashlights and batteries.
Oh, shoot, we got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Won't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel!
Hazel may start her journey as a typical 19-year-old, but disastrous events will push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving, an ancient magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
I wonder if it's like for a
The land
spoken,
itself chooses Hazel as a weaver,
where she lives in like the real world.
someone who
and
can see beyond the surface and tap into a deeper reality.
gets taken somewhere
The
else.
grand tapestry. Weavers can see the fabric binding our worlds, connecting people, nature, and echoes of the past.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Hazel can perceive both the mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power, she reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she encounters.
As Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually shifts into the surreal, revealing that creatures from the old folktales actually exist.
You up here, my salvation.
Among them is good old Catfish, the storyteller who becomes both the guide and companion to Hazel across the game.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself. Would you kindly do your weaver thing and help me down?
Meeting Catfish marks the true beginning of Hazel's journey. All of Hazel's arsenal and powers are designed around textile crafting and traditional spinning wheels. Her weapons include a spindle, 2 weaving hooks, and a distaff.
Oh, that's
Her
actually
magic
fire.
abilities manifest with supernatural lace-like patterns, blending the traditional craft with mystical elements.
If they use an actual knitting
Hazel engages
equipment.
with the world through a variety of movement abilities. Those abilities also help Hazel progress on a journey.
As her journey unfolds, Hazel will master new weaving abilities, using them to traverse the world, conjure objects, and confront adversaries.
Combat is about understanding and adapting to different enemy archetypes known as Aints, the manifestations of corruption Hazel encounters.
These haints trap Hazel in combat until she unravels them, destroying them in the process.
Each Aint has its own unique moveset, strengths, and weaknesses that you'll need to learn and adapt to. For example, the slug burrows on the ground and unleashes devastating strikes from afar, while the Ravager closes the distance with chilling speed. Hazel can counter these threats with agile melee abilities to execute powerful combos, jump attacks, and charge attacks. But close combat is risky and can backfire because Aints have powerful defensive abilities. Mastering your magical
These
skills
arenas
becomes the key to gaining the upper hand in combat.
Type of fights, I like these type of games.
Push, pull, and weave. are some of the spells at your disposal that give you a tactical advantage during a fight. Timing is everything. Pull distant enemies close to start melee combos, push them back to interrupt and stun their attack. Then press the advantage with follow-up strikes. Spells interact uniquely with each enemy type, creating dynamic combat scenarios, especially when facing multiple types of opponents at the same time. Once near death, enemies can be unraveled, breaking their core and setting them free of their corruption, which has the added benefit of providing health boosts and reducing ability cooldowns. If you play your combos right, you can enhance Hazel's combat readiness and keep on chaining her abilities. As Hazel progresses in the game, she unlocks new moves and improved abilities, and you'll have to decide which areas to prioritize. The upgrades will change how you approach combat, like enhancing area of effect attacks,
AoEs, let's go.
Push and pull skills to improve precision
Gotta get done,
and
bro.
make them feel
Especially
more
when you got
rewarding.
enemies all around you.
The combat system is fast and responsive, built around chaining attacks, landing precise strikes, and unraveling enemies.
Like in Xenoverse, bro. I'm gonna just throw that explosive wave out.
You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more. Now for the low, low price of $1.
I still don't know how I feel
For her
about
mother, you'll explore multiple regions.
the animation though. It's like it's
creature
20
with their own
FPS.
Southern Gothic history.
I know it's like an artistic vision,
You'll
but I
gradually
don't know.
uncover the backstories of these beings, once human or animal, who were transformed by tragedy. Their secrets waiting to be discovered. As a weaver, Hazel heals these creatures by collecting fragments of haunted memories. We call these echoes, which reveal each creature's past. Hazel must experience these echoes before she can mend them.
What kind of person would do that to someone?
We design each region to reflect the creature that's been doomed to wander it. From the atmospheric environment to unique music themes composed for each one. While not all encounters lead to direct combat, Hazel will need to face mythical creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness of each creature, with distinct mechanics that center around a specific thematic. These encounters feature multiple phases.
Okay, I know they're gonna have set pieces like that.
As the encounters progress, the musical theme builds up, cranking the tension alongside the fight. Whether it's Two-Toed Tom or hugging Molly,
Yeah, we're not
each
hugging
of these
her, buddy.
larger-than-life creatures is inspired by Southern folklore and lead to climactic battles.
We got a long journey ahead.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey, and as Hazel, you'll travel through a tapestry of Southern-inspired landscapes. From abysmal swamps to flooded farmlands to the Appalachian peaks. In our magical South, decaying buildings reclaimed by nature stand moments away from a hungry Rugal.
I wonder if her
And
mom
as
did
Hazel
that.
delves deeper, reality bends ever more toward the fantastic.
Swept away, or we gotta actually save her in the
The
game.
history, landscape, and folklore of the American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental storytelling, like our bottle trees and haint blue porches, which are said to ward off evil spirits. The way to the past emerges as central themes, which you can see through old abandoned buildings and businesses struggling to survive. As you explore, you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
That's why I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy with them.
Artistically, we're staying true to our moody compulsion signature style. But this time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired by stop-motion animation, which allows our team to bring a distinct personality and tone into every prop and character. Because this folklore is open to visual interpretation, we embrace the freedom to reimagine these creatures and their stories, to adapt how they look, and to craft our
Yeah,
own
I
version
wanna
of a
fight her.
fantastical Deep South.
In the cave, that cave fight, like, gonna be crazy.
At Compulsion Games, we love to craft around central themes. We're lucky to have talent across all our disciplines that collaborate to give South of Midnight such a unique personality. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into South of Midnight. We're thrilled to announce that the game will launch on April 8th, and pre-orders are now available on Xbox and Steam.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all got me. I will be picking this up. I know how I felt about it when they first announced it last year, but seeing the combat and everything. Oh, yeah, I actually want this game too. I think just the every so often the lady in a mountain or something does some shit. People disappear, I think.
Bonjour everyone. We are Sunfall Interactive and welcome to our nano. We are a small studio based in Montpellier, France, working on our first game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
RPG, bro.
It's a
Turn-based
RPG set in a fantasy version of late 19th century Belle Epoque France.
It's probably my most look forward game.
Our grand adventure in game development actually started as a solo passion project. I wanted to create something like the JRPGs with turn-based combat I grew up with and loved, but that fully leveraged the latest tech, refreshed the genre with new features, and took place in a compelling world. I knew I needed help to realize my dream. First, I turned to a programmer I knew would get it.
Guillaume and I started trading ideas right away, and that quickly turned into
filmography
trading files back and forth.
And this direct is going
Soon,
crazy.
I was creating the first prototypes of the reactive turn-based system, combining real-time offense
like the
and
B-roll and
defense
everything,
element, and a cinematic battle camera system. Things really clicked when we tested the first version of those features. We felt we had something both challenging and fun.
As Tom and I went back and forth and iterated on game elements, a vision started to come together, and I shared it with an old friend from university.
Guillaume and I are both passionate gamers, and when he described the project, I quit my job the following week and joined the team without hesitation. Because I believe that in video games, success always starts with a strong creative vision. And we had that, defined by 3 core elements. A story with great emotional depth.
Oh, I seen somebody dead on the ground.
That innovates on the classics we love. And a world that is completely original, beautiful, and immersive. We founded Sunfall Interactive on these tenets. A group of friends with a shared vision and the drive to make something great.
This too is your legacy.
Oh.
Core to every great RPG is a compelling story.
Expedition.
And Guillaume and I spent 4 years intensively developing and refining ours.
I'm
And
guessing
that
we
started
gotta,
with the hook.
We gotta lock in. And
67 years ago,
can't be no
a
34th.
massive slumbering paintress and a monolith appeared with no warning.
Oh, never mind.
Once
I
a
already
year,
see
the
that
paintress
shit.
wakes and paints a number on her monolith, and everyone who has passed that
Oh.
age is erased. Every year, that number ticks down, and everyone dies younger and younger. Expeditions depart to kill the paintress, determined to fight until their final breath, but none have ever returned. Our story follows
I got proved
Expedition
wrong immediately.
33.
Expeditioners, we honor your dedication.
Guillaume and I knew early on that we didn't want to focus on good versus evil. What's interesting to us are people who, yes, are flawed, but who care deeply about each other. And conflicts arise because they have different perspectives on what needs to be done.
I'm sorry about earlier.
We wanted our story to feel dark and mature, with adult characters who feel like real people with real experiences.
I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets.
The heart of the story is about overcoming an existential threat while struggling with loss and grief. And it's rooted in the characters' relationships, both to each other and to themselves.
Yo, imagine
What are we gonna do, huh?
you turn
Tell me.
26 when it's 27.
What are we gonna do?
In a world like this, how does
And then
one
when
stay
it turns
hopeful
26, you're
or
27
make
now,
peace
so you
with their
just
fate?
mad
What
lucky.
duty do we owe to each other or to ourselves? These questions are deeply personal to me, and they permeate the story behind the story.
Know that Lumiere fights with you. Tomorrow comes Expedition 33.
The characters all have their own motivations and perspectives. Gustave and Lune are deeply invested in the expedition, even if they fight all the time. To them, the mission is tied not only to their family, it's central to their identity and purpose.
Protocol doesn't cover every contingency. You know that.
Contrast that with Ciel, whose darkest days have already happened.
What are the stars whispering to you? Actually, I'm the one whispering to them. It's something my dad and I used to do.
and Maëlle, who cares more about really living her life, not just living longer.
Gustav, are you real?
It's not all dark, though. Along the way, they meet various colorful NPCs and recruit Monoko, who is a friendly but kinda bloodthirsty philosopher and a fully playable character. He has a really cool battle mechanic where he can turn into the enemies he defeats.
What are you doing?
Just need the foot. Aha!
He's very, very old and has seen many expeditions come and go. He is a Gestrol, which are a group of playful beings who view battle as a form of meditation. They're fun and sort of ridiculous. You'll meet Monoko and many other Gestrols across the game.
I'm not gonna lie, his character like he's gonna be fired.
And of course, there is Esquier, who is one of the oldest and lore-wise the most powerful creatures in the verse.
Esquier is that powerful?
He will be your mount and help you travel to secret corners of the world. And if you bring him back his special stones, you can unlock abilities for him to access new areas of the world and find exciting secrets.
I didn't know he had like an open world map you can walk around.
Everyone has their own reason for joining the expedition, and each of them has their own story arc and resolution.
I want to know about them light weapons
players
though.
Will really connect
What's the
with.
lore?
In addition to a strong narrative, we had a clear vision for our own take on the genre's core gameplay. Our reactive turn-based system takes the traditional turn-based battle mechanic we love and adds real-time reaction.
I love those type
which
of
gives
turn-based
combat
fights.
greater intensity and dynamism.
That's why I like the
During enemy
Mario
turns, You can
RPG.
negate all damage by dodging or firing at the right time.
You can time the attack for bonus damage,
But
time to
balancing
dodge.
turn-based with real-time mechanics took a long time to get right. During initial playtests, turn-based players often found the real-time elements too hard. Some of us are still traumatized by enemies from back then. We've done a lot of rebalancing since, and with a lot of iteration, we ultimately came up with a formula that we're proud of. Players who are good at real-time can take more risks, and others can counterbalance with items and strategies. A big part of that formula lies in the many ways you can customize your character. We spend a lot of time designing each character's unique mechanics and their custom skill trees. Our philosophy is making every type of playstyle viable
Like a mage,
so
I'm
that
guessing?
everyone can have fun with how they play the game.
UPS.
Each character has a unique mechanic. Maëlle switches between stances which can ultimately boost defense or power. I personally like to make Maëlle the protector of the group, but I'm pretty much the only one at the studio who plays her that way. Most people play her as a glass cannon.
Yeah, that's what I was
Gustav's
thinking looking at her.
Skills. The characters can also equip
Like a Tifa.
hundreds of passive effects, which in our game are called Lumina.
They got a lot of
Every
them joints.
character has more than 20 unique skills in their skill tree and hundreds of passive effects. They can gain through Lumina and weapons. So there are a ton of builds and playstyle to explore. Needless to say, we can't wait to see how you choose to play and what kinds of build you'll design that we probably never even imagined.
Oh, I thought each character was a class. He talking about builds.
Our story is set in the French fantasy world, and I was really excited to design something unique. Every level has its own color and texture identity. For example, the Gestrol Village is an early area in the game where players can enjoy a fun break. We wanted something that feels chaotic, grungy, and toy-like. It's basically a bazaar. Everything's disorganized, chaos everywhere, huts are unsafe, built without much thought. It's a place where anyone could fight you at any point, which is pretty much what the Gestrols are like. The Gestrol village is hidden inside the ancient sanctuary. The ideas here were forest, labyrinth, and sentinels. I designed it as a vibrant place, like an old graveyard of Gestrols, or forgotten wooden toys in a box, with two main colors, red and white. I wanted to make it feel cozy, hidden from danger, with traps and labyrinths in case enemies get in. Same process with the characters. Monoko came in a single concept. I thought of a monkey-like body, white fur with a black and red flat mask.
Ladies, could I? Ow!
definitely a jester.
For SK, we needed a cuddly companion to take us around the world. I thought instantly of a giant inflatable balloon and old Victorian pillows with many intricate motifs. We start with the core themes and ideas, and the visuals grow organically from there.
From the very start of the project, there was one thing that we absolutely wanted to bring back from older JRPGs. A feature we really loved, but is very rare these days. A completely 3D and navigable world map.
Yes, sir. I ain't seen them since.
And it was a real challenge to create, both artistically and technically. And it ended up a lot bigger than we expected. You'll definitely need SK's help traveling around. Here we go! We're super happy with the result, though, as there's a lot of side paths and entire hidden levels. If you want to fight the toughest bosses of the game, you will have to explore. Good luck.
We've poured our hearts and souls into this game for the past 4 years. That's why we're delighted to announce that Expedition 33 launches on April 24th on Xbox Series X and S and is available day one with
everything
Xbox
is
Game Pass.
April, bro.
You can already wish the game and follow us for more info.
Somebody got to say they drop it in February.
We are super excited to invite you into the world of Expedition 33. We are a small, passionate team. It's our debut game, and we can't wait for you to discover our story,
Nintendo dropping in April,
and our take on the turn-based genre.
That's when they direct for the Switch 2.
On behalf of everyone at Sunfall, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
Yes, sir. Everything looked interesting. What's the last game? Oh, of course, Doom. We getting that out there. I think that come out in March. I want to see what they do with the multiplayer. Let's bring back in an arena. That's all I want. And some quick 2 shit.
And welcome to Dallas, Texas, home of id Software, where more than 30 years ago, a small team of game developers helped define and set a course for first-person shooters. A lot has changed since then, but our team is as passionate as ever. And the most important values at the core of our games, innovation, craftsmanship, and performance, remain a priority for us to this day.
And as you're about to see, those values are infused in every aspect of this latest installment in the legendary Doom franchise. It is an honor to work on this game, to carry on its tradition of creating all-out, groundbreaking levels of fun.
So now, we're excited to share with you a look at
Bro,
our
everybody
most
who works
ambitious
on
game
Doom games
yet.
be in the gym, bro. I'm
This
not gonna.
is Doom: The Dark Ages.
That was so stupid, I mouthed the words.
You just locked in, bro. I think the last one was like Doom Eternal, and that one was fire.
In Doom: The Dark Ages, you will feel like the superweapon in the center of a medieval war against hell. Set in a cinematic sci-fi fantasy world full of locations to explore, powerful weapons to unlock, and enemies to conquer. This is a prequel to Doom 2016, and that's given us the opportunity to reimagine every aspect of this experience. So if you're new to the franchise, then Doom: The Dark Ages will be the perfect entry point into the series. And if you're a longtime fan, then you'll be proud to see, in a lot of ways, the feel of the game is really a return to form. So let's break it down, starting with the combat. In Doom Eternal, you felt like a fighter jet. In Doom: The Dark Ages, you'll be an iron tank.
Oh.
Heavy, strong, but still fast. A grounded combat system with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal.
Okay, so I guess you're not hooking around and stuff like that.
And a balance between enemy projectiles and player movement speed that makes strafing to aim viable again, just like in the classic Doom games. But it's not all about nostalgia. Innovation is the goal, always. And so for Doom: The Dark Ages, it's an all-new world with new tools and new mechanics to master. Let me introduce you to the Shield Saw. Block. Throw. parry,
No, that was fire. That was fire.
deflect, all from one input. It's contextual.
Little boomerang
Tons of
shield.
depth on a single button press. You know, we want every Doom game to stand on its own as a unique experience. So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot.
Yes, sir. I love that gun.
And in Doom the Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
Oh, so you just him. You ain't even gotta dodge, bro.
And the Shield Saw will give you the strength to go head to head with some of the biggest, baddest demons we've ever created at id.
You're doing with a parry?
Because if you're gonna stand and fight, then you gotta have something to follow up that opening parry with.
Yeah, that might actually go
How about
crazy.
an iron flail? Or maybe an electrified gauntlet? Or even a Doom spiked mace? That's right, we have 3 melee options that are part of a melee system. All on one input, complete with combos and upgrades. And it's totally awesome. And you can finish off the demons now with an all-new, unsynced, completely in the player's control glory kill system. From any angle, in and out, as you see fit. And it feels amazing. You'll feel unstoppable, smashing your way through the horde with total freedom. And that seems like a ton, but that's just 2 inputs. We got one more really important button that we haven't talked about yet.
I wonder what all the biomes gonna look like. Oh no.
That's right, we've saved the
That's
best for
chaos.
last. Doom has and always will be all about the guns. And Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful weapons that we've ever created. Mean. Ancient.
Nah, you did bro dirty.
Brutal torture machines built to butcher, impale,
Ooh.
and shred the minions of hell with. Only in Doom. That's the mission statement for the design of these never-before-seen, insanely fun-to-use tools of mayhem that only the Slayer has the power to wield. So
Yo,
let's
imagine.
take a look at some extended gameplay footage
Imagine
and
on
see how these
your
medieval
shield
mechanics
means nothing,
synergize
bro.
with the enemies and the environments to form the new combat loop for Doom the Dark Ages.
I don't know why that just opened up. I'm not gonna lie, hitting the dude off of his mount is hilarious. Oh, you can parry that too? He like a dollar store brew mac.
And under the hood, for the first time in an id game, we've made our combat more approachable and flexible than ever before, with a new difficulty system and sliders that will allow players to tune the speed and challenge of the game to whatever fits them
I would have
best.
never expected that
You
from
can
Doom.
slow things down or speed them up. It's a Doom for all Slayers.
Yeah,
And
they
the
trying to get this
gameplay
out.
doesn't end with just the Slayer.
Okay.
We finally have for you, we've been waiting for 2 games now,
What?
to get in and pilot your very own 30-story Atlan, which is a mech. It's the size of a building, it's powerful, and you can beat giant Titan-sized demons to death with your gauntleted fists. And if that wasn't enough, we also have for you your very own fire-breathing, Gatling gun-toting cybernetic
Are they going
dragon.
crazy?
Neither of these are one-and-done features either. They have a full suite of abilities and even mini-bosses. The spectacle is epic. The Power Fantasy is unlike anything we've made it in. And the combat systems behind these features are deep and tons of fun.
I was just expecting more Doom, bro. I wasn't.
And as cool as all that is, we know
Giant
that fans
mechs.
of single-player action games expect more than just great combat to pull them through the experience. So we're excited to share with you not just the gunplay, but the world of Doom the Dark Ages. Your hero's journey will take you to the far reaches of the Doom universe. Mysterious worlds from the Slayer's past, dark forests, dungeons, ancient hellscapes, battlefields, and worlds beyond.
Oh yeah.
And through exploration, you'll be unlocking new abilities and godlike powers every step of the way. Now armed with your trusty shield saw, you're gonna cut, leap, and smash your way through environments full of secrets and treasures. There's always something new waiting to be discovered.
Oh, snatch this chain, bro.
Now let's take a closer look at just one of the many missions you'll experience in Doom: The Dark Ages. In this level, you will meet the enemy at the gates and save a city from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the way to engage with as you see fit, with any gun you choose. Explore what is the largest play space ever in a Doom game, discovering secret caves and dungeon-like mines in search of vital resources.
Just deleting everybody with that one.
You control the pace of the game. Where you go, who you fight, and the objectives you pursue. It's a Doom sandbox full of war and riches. Once you've broken the enemy assault, head back to the main gates, because the battle isn't over yet.
Yep, they get that mech.
And the soundtrack to your epic adventures will be composed by the award-winning team at Finishing Move,
Bless you.
providing you
No
with
copyright.
a metal soundscape that's loaded with guitars, medieval vibes, and pure adrenaline. You'll feel like you're expanding
I was hoping they made everything.
of the Slayer with every mission you complete. And speaking of that legend, the story of Doom: The Dark Ages, like everything else in the game, is big. It's a summer blockbuster
Bro, when did the
event with
demons get
everything on the line,
lasers and
you
cannons?
are the star of the show.
Like
your
them big
power
ones.
is
Or that's
coveted by your enemies
they first
and
game.
withheld from your allies. With the Slayer imprisoned at the start of our story, the balance of power between good and evil is shifting, and time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes, featuring new characters, old allies, and powerful new villains. And for returning players, it leads directly into the Doom 2016 Slayer's Testament.
Oh, you got the Iron Man
It's an
chest,
action
huh?
story worthy of the Slayer's legend.
So I was expecting a big demon just to be hand-to-hand combat. I didn't know they was
We've
gonna
got
have
10 years
laser
of making
cannons and nothing
modern
like
Doom
that.
games together, and we've done better with every game we've made.
The hope with all this, the goal, is to give players an experience that's as fun to play as it was to make, and make something that's good enough to become the best game id has ever made.
But that is for you to decide. When Doom: The Dark Ages releases,
I would love to work at a gaming studio. Be in like the music department. When they gonna throw something else? Okay, that's the end. That's the end. Oh, oh no, scissor.
You will feel like the superweapon in the center of a medieval war against hell.
All of Hazel's powers are designed around textile crafting and spinning wheels. The combat system is built around chaining attacks and unraveling enemies.
Our reactive turn-based system adds real-time reaction, which gives combat greater intensity and dynamism.
忍具やシリーズおなじみの体術など忍者アクションを駆使して乗り越えていくことになります。
皆様に進化した忍者ガイデンを触っていただける日を楽しみにしています。
Everything they showed, I want to play. I think everything on Game Pass too. Yes, sir.